guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jenna in her new library. I am so excited to have these shelves behind me. I have been dreaming of having shelves like this for probably 2 years now, ever since I discovered BookTube, and I just had it in my brain that I had to have amazing shelves behind me in my background. So anyway, I finally have shelves. I put them all together myself and I'm so proud of them. I have 4 of them. One actually is not totally put together yet. So I have 2 behind me, 1 over there, and 1 is going to be over there. Anyway, you don't care about that. I am so excited to have these shelves, but I am even more excited to share with you the books that I picked up for myself during the month of April, as well as the books that I read in April. So without further ado, let's get into the books that I purchased for myself in April. So the first book that I picked up from my library book sale, actually I think all of these, no, I have 6 to show you. So 4 out of 6 of these I picked up from my library's book sale. Anyway, the first one is The Night Gardener by Jonathan Auxier. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, so if you know, please let me know. But this is a middle grade horror novel that I read last year and really enjoyed. And then this came in as a donation, so I just picked it up for $1, and I think the cover is super cool. I was thoroughly creeped out by this when I read it last year. Really enjoyed it, so I figured, why not? It was $1. The next book that I picked up was, again, $1 in the library book sale, and that was The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. I read this in high school, really loved it, read it after I saw the movie, and I've always had the little mass market movie tie-in cover edition of the book that I've never really cared for, so I was really excited to pick this one up because it's a beautiful, just huge hardcover. It's a little bit beat up, but that's okay. It was $1. The next book that I picked up is another middle grade horror novel, and that is The Dead Boys by Royce Buckingham. This was, again, from my library's book sale for $1, and this was recommended to me by a friend slash former coworker, Julie, and she just said it was super cool. I don't know if she actually read it or she just said it sounded really cool. I can't remember, but it came in the donation, so I just picked it up. Why not? I don't know too much about it other than the fact that there is some sort of tree, I'm guessing it's this tree right here, that is alive somehow and takes the souls of children. I'm not sure, but it kind of seems that way. I mean, the tree is reaching out for this boy that's running away. So I don't know too much, but it sounded interesting, and I've been trying to read more middle grade recently just to expand my reader advisory skills at work. So anyway, the next book that I picked up, I bought for myself, and it is A Court of Mist and Fury, the beautiful paperback edition. I got this so I could reread it before A Court of Wings and Ruin, but to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to be reading A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury before the third one, just because I've been really impatient to read it, and I think I'll be fine without rereading them. Anyway, I'm just glad that I have it, and it's wonderfully floppy. It's so huge, but it just stays open by itself. I just love paperbacks so much. The next book that I picked up was, again, from my library's book sale for $1, and I'm not too crazy about the cover, but whatever. That is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. I picked this up because April over at Getting Hugga With It raved about this book, and she absolutely loves it. She says it's one of her favorite horror novels, and I'm not too much of a horror novel person. That might be surprising given that this is the 3rd horror book that is in this haul. Anyway, I just think it sounded really appealing the way she described it, and I have seen the movie, but from the way that she described it, the movie sounds incredibly different from the book, so we'll see how that goes. And the last book that I got in the month of April was actually sent to me by one of my friends and subscribers, Cassie. So Cassie, thank you so much. You're so sweet. But she sent this to me for my birthday, and this is a book she read and she has really enjoyed, and that is Unblemished by Sara Ella. And Sara Ella, I'm 99% sure she's a booktuber and she has her own channel. So if she does, I will link that down below for you to check out. And I just think it sounds really cool. I don't know too much. I know Trina from Between Chapters has talked about this quite a lot, and she's actually interviewed Sara Ella before as well, which is cool. But I'm just all about supporting the BookTube community, and I'm just excited to read this and let you know what I think. Yeah, unblemished. I don't know too much about it other than the fact that it is about a girl who has some sort of scar on her face or facial deformity, and she's really insecure about it, but she is transported to this other world where the scar on her face actually means something different than what she thought. I'm not sure, but we'll see how that goes. So those are all of the books that I picked up for myself in the month of April. And now I'm going to be talking about the books that I read in the month of April. All right, guys, so now I'm going to talk about the books that I read in the month of April. So the first book that I read was Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I gave this 5 stars. This is a YA standalone fantasy novel, which I absolutely loved. We follow 17-year-old Agnieszka, who is chosen from her village, very surprisingly, by this wizard named the Dragon, who chooses a girl every 10 years from the village to basically be his servant. And everyone thinks that Agnieszka's best friend is going to be chosen because she is smart, brave, pretty, all of the above, and Agnieszka is described as being plain and very clumsy, so everybody's surprised that she gets chosen. So basically when the dragon takes her back to his tower, everything takes off from there. There's lots of magic, lots of, well, not too much, but a little bit of political intrigue, a little bit of romance. I absolutely loved this book. This does have a lot of mixed reviews here on BookTube, and I can see why other people wouldn't like it, but it just personally worked for me. So, for example, one of the main complaints that some people have about this book is that they could not connect with the characters. I can see why, because I think this was intentionally written to feel like a fairy tale, where, you know, when you read your classic fairy tales, it's like Rapunzel did this, Rapunzel did that. It's not like, oh, Rapunzel feels so bad about doing this or that. You don't get their feelings so much as you basically get their actions, if that makes any sense at all. So to me, it worked because I loved that classic fairy tale feel to it. And also another example would be the magic system. Some people don't really like it because it's not very well explained, but for me, it just worked because I don't need a magic system to be super well explained. It's magic, so you don't need to explain it that much, in my opinion. I appreciate magic systems that are very thoroughly explained, but anyway, for me, this just worked. It got 5 stars for me. It came at a perfect time. I just thought it was a breath of fresh air. It was the first fantasy that I read in a long time, and it just kind of got me back into that fantasy mood. So I absolutely love this and would highly recommend. The next book that I read was the Krista, or Books and Jams read-along book pick for the month that Krista over at Books and Jams runs on Goodreads, and the book is Lillian Boxfish Takes a Walk by Kathleen Rooney. So I would say like 80%, 70-80% of the group didn't really care for this book, and I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was okay. I liked it. I did finish it. There were a couple of moments where I felt like I was just gonna put it down, like DNF it, not because I hated it or anything, but just because I wasn't invested in the story at all. I did like the main character, Lillian. Basically, we follow her life story as she's reminiscing while taking a walk through New York City. So Lillian is in her 80s, and in her prime, she was the highest paid advertising woman in New York City. She worked for Macy's, and basically we hear her story about how she got to the peak of her career, and then as she started a family, how that affected her career. I did like the character of Lillian, like I said. I thought she was very sharp, quick-witted, and super funny. There were a few quotes that I thought were pretty nice, but other than that, I gave it a 3 stars. I would recommend it if you're interested in it. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't love it, probably would not purchase it, but yeah, I just gave it 3 stars. The next book that I read in the month of April was Smile by Raina Telgemeier. This is a middle grade graphic novel. I read it in one sitting at work. I cannot tell you how many kids, especially late elementary, middle school girls, come up to me and ask for books by Raina Telgemeier. Her books are so incredibly popular with that age group. It's insane. So I had to see what all the fuss was about. And Smile is about the author, Raina. We follow her as a 12-year-old girl as she falls and she chips a tooth, or she loses her 2 front teeth, and it's just terrible. And it follows her journey. It's happened in real life, of losing her teeth, getting braces, getting fake teeth put in. It's such a funny and cute little story. You just have to read it if you're interested in it. Yeah, if you're interested in something super light, quick and funny and sweet, I would highly recommend it. I gave it 4 stars just because I thought it was really cool. And it was also set in the 80s, or late 80s, early 90s, and I just really liked all the little references that were in there, so it got 4 stars from me. And then the next book that I read was, again, another middle grade graphic novel that I read in one sitting at work, and that is Roller Girl by Victoria Jameson. So I got a lot of the same vibes as Smile gave me from this one, but basically this is about a young girl who discovers her love for roller derby and how that affects her friendships and her relationship with her mom. And she comes into her own as a roller derby girl, and it's just so, so cute. If you liked the movie Whip It, this is a much more tame story, but it has to do with roller derby, and I just thought it was super, super cute. So if you liked Whip It, you'd probably like Roller Girl, even though it's for middle grade. The next book that I read was The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead, and I actually did a full vlog-style book review of this book. If you're interested, I'll leave a link down below. But basically, I gave this book 4 stars. Didn't I? Yes. I gave it 4 stars. And I really, really liked it. It was one of the best books that I've read this year so far. I wouldn't say that it got a 5 stars from me because I didn't feel totally connected to the main character, Cora. Basically, it follows Cora, and she's this young girl who is a slave on a plantation in Georgia, and it basically follows her journey to freedom. And one unique aspect of this book is that this book features the Underground Railroad as being a literal railroad that is underground. That's pretty much all everybody can talk about when describing this book. So I was excited to see those particular aspects of of those descriptions in the book. Sorry. But in reality, you don't get too much from the literal Underground Railroad. It's really about Cora and her journey, which I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I thought the writing was great, and overall I would highly recommend it, but it just wasn't exactly what I was expecting. I thought it was pretty much equally character and plot driven, which I feel like is unique and really cool. But yeah, I would highly recommend The Underground Railroad. I gave it 4 stars. And the last book that I read is actually a play, was Fences by August Wilson. I gave this 4 stars. I read this in high school. I was in theater in high school, and this is required reading for us our senior year. And I just have this memory of sitting down in a circle in the class, and we would all read it line by line. So we were just one line, all around the circle. And I just loved reading plays that way in school. But anyway, I read this in high school. I remember really liking it, but not caring for Troy, who is the main character in the story. So when I heard it was becoming a movie with Denzel Washington, I was super excited, and I just wanted to pick it up and reread it. It actually took me a few days to read it just because we were moving like right in the middle of me reading the play. So it took me a little while, but I did end up really, really liking it. It read super quickly. It is a play, but I really did not care for Troy at all. I did end up giving this 3.5 stars. When I rated it in high school, I think I was on Goodreads in high school or in college, early college. Anyway, I rated it 4 stars the first time based on what I remembered, but after this fresh reread, I definitely would give it like 3.5. I did really like the story. I thought the writing was incredible. The dialogue was incredible, but the main character, Troy, I didn't feel sorry for him. I didn't. He was just making some choices that I did not agree with, and I got sick of him. I love Rose. I thought she was a strong female character. I wish it was a little bit more about her rather than Troy, but anyway, I did end up really liking it. It is, how about we go into the description of it, shall we? It is set in the 50s in Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. Oh my gosh. I can't remember. Around that area in the late 50s, it follows a black family and their struggles, and how Troy, after kind of flunking out of Major League Baseball, ends up making a living as a garbage man. So It's definitely a American family drama, and I thought it was great. I would highly recommend it. So those are all of the books, graphic novels, and one play that I read in the month of April. Comment down below and let me know what your favorite book that you read in April was, as I would love to know. And if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. But that's pretty much it for this video. I cannot wait to film more videos in front of these new shelves. I'm just so proud of them and how they look, and I'm over the moon. It's so great, and I have Beauty and the Beast on display. I can't even. So I will see you guys very, very soon with a tag probably. I'm kind of behind on my tags, so I need to get on that. But I'll see you guys soon. I hope you're having a great day. Bye.